Now, just a couple of weeks ago, we went ahead and we got the boat ready for its first public debut, and the owners of the boat, the Kushner family, asked Bert if he would go ahead and kind of temporarily mount a hydraulic helm along with an Edson steering wheel to just kind of make it look like the steering is in place. It's not. We've got to connect from the dash all the way to these engines. And that's what we're going to be doing today here at Shipshape TV. What we opted for was not a brand new Seastar helm. We opted for a remanufactured helm. And this is Tim's specialty. He remanufactures hydraulic steering. What's your warranty claims here?
Our warranty claims here are virtually zero. We have never really received a failure in the field that we know of.
Okay. Now we also have a budget with this boat, and traditionally if we were going with a brand new Seastar Pro helm, retail, brand new, we're looking at like $1,000. Okay. This is actually rebuilt, looks brand new. Okay. Mm-hmm. Everyday price, what are we looking at?
Everyday price, completely remanufactured for $350.
Okay, fantastic. Well, today we're going to learn a lot about hydraulic steering. We're going to actually go from the dash all the way to the engines, and we're going to show you some really trick gear with this. But there are different grades of hydraulic steering. Pro means that the hydraulic pressure is actually on both sides of the helm, right? Not just one side.
What happens with a standard helm, you can get a little bit of drift because you can get some air in the chambers. It's a non-sealed helm. This system is sealed and it has high pressure on both sides of the cylinder at all times, so it holds course more true.
We are only putting the very best gear that we can onto the special boat going to charity. And today's program is just going to be jam-packed full of information. Here on the table, guys, is another example of a Seastar Pro helm. They retail for like $1,000 brand new. Boat Steer actually rebuilds them, sells them every day for like $350. And we're again in North Venice at Boat Steer. We have Tim Howard on the program. And Tim, I told you about the Taco Marine Project boat. I talked about the charity, the I'm Logan It Foundation, how it's helping out for juvenile diabetes. This was near and dear to your heart. You said, John, I want to help. I want to give you anything that you need. You actually are an authorized Seastar remanufacturer. You have a very special relationship with Seastar.
We do.
You mentioned the charity and us doing this together, and man, did they come to the table. What is this device that they donated?
Seastar donated the power steering unit. It's called a Power Assist. And you can see that's brand new.
Why, this boat has twin large engines on it, 250 horsepower Yamahas. Why might a boater opt, they have regular hydraulic steering, why might they want to add this to their system? What does this give you?
Well, in this particular instance, we have one cylinder, one hydraulic cylinder, and so you'd be fighting one cylinder to push two engines.
All right, so that's a lot of movement on the wheel.
A lot of load on the wheel.
Okay.
So what we do is we put a power assist in, the helm talks to the power assist, and then the power assist puts high pressure into the steering cylinder, and that's driving the two engines.
With one finger, guys, it's like butter. Okay, it's fantastic. Seastar kicked in probably $3,000 worth of gear here.
Yes, they did.
On the table. So we're going to have one cylinder for both motors. How are we going to tie both those engines together?
We're going to tie them together with a tie bar assembly. You can see the bracketry here as well as the tie bar, and this all ties together to align the engines so that a single cylinder on one engine will steer both.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about our situation. We're putting in hydraulic steering kind of like a boat manufacturer would do it, okay, from the very get-go. Bert actually cut into the dash through that 1/2-inch fiberglass to mount the helm. It's not hooked up yet, but most people already have hydraulic steering on their boats. I want to help you out. If your helms, need to be replaced, rather than buying new, that Pro helm from Seastar is like $1,000. You can have Tim rebuild it for $350, but I want to go through a little bit of the process. You've got 4 studs coming off the back of your helm. You're going to have to unbolt that. You're going to have to plug your lines, And do you see this drain right here, this plug? What you want to do before you send it to Tim is you want to unscrew that and you want to drain it out, collect the hydraulic fluid. You also want to turn it a couple of times. That'll get some more fluid out, and then double bag it, like in a Ziploc or whatever, before you send it to UPS. The UPS guys will love you for doing that. It's going to keep it really clean. What do we have over here? That looks like something that came out of my 57-foot Monterey Sportfish.
This is a power steering cylinder for a large yacht. And you can see this is the way we get it from the field. It's been in somebody's bilge for 10 or 15 years. You can see the intensity of corrosion. And we developed this piece to show, this is actually this tube that we see here. And this is the way this tube came to us. And then we remanufactured it, and you can see the condition. It's back to new.
Okay. I also want to help people that might have kind of a rat's nest around their batteries, their marine batteries. Here's a really good example of that. You have invented something that makes it much cleaner, okay, and you can still actually get to the caps and, you know, with your distilled water and everything else. Show everybody what you invented.
This is called a Terminal Tamer. We trademarked the Terminal Tamer. We have two, a positive and negative unit. Has 6 ports on it, and then a clamp system. What you do is you slide this over the post on the battery, clamp it down, and then you can individually series the batteries, parallel the batteries, tie in an automatic bilge pump, whatever. And it organizes the leads so they straddle the fill ports on the batteries and makes a much cleaner installation. I have this on my 55-footer.
Fantastic. I want you to donate that to the Taco Marine Project.
We are. Yep.
And people at home, you can actually get this through Tim at Boat Steer. If you need anything on your hydraulic steering for your boats done, how do people in my audience actually get you, Tim?
Well, they can go to boatsteer.com. We have all our contact information on there. And you can call in, email us, and we'll arrange for the shipment.
What is the turnaround time?
Our turnaround time is about a day to day and a half for the typical Helm and the typical cylinder to overhaul it and get it on its way back to the customer.
Tim, thank you so much. We need to go to break right now, but keep it right here because when we come back, Bert is going to be with Daryl out here at Boat Steer, and they're going to be showing how to put in all of these devices for the hydraulic steering on the Taco Marine Project boat. We'll get into it right now.